Hi, everybody. Welcome to day 4 of Embodying the Vision. Here am I'm Tanya Gonzalez Ortega, and I practice family constellations and also distance energy healing. And so today I'm going to talk about mistakes, self-forgiveness, self-responsibility. But before I go into that, I'm just going to quickly recap the first 3 days. So day 1 was all about just talking about what is a vision, what does it mean to have a vision, to follow a vision, the different aspects of that, and also a meditation exercise to connect you with visualizing your vision, all aspects of it. Who do you become? Who do you want to be? What do you want to experience? How do you want to serve? Day 2 was all about reverence, and we talked about the inevitability of death in life and how that really adds fuel to the fire in terms of committing to your vision and bringing it forth in your life on the planet at this time. And also did a meditation. Each of the days I'm doing meditation. And yesterday we dove into appreciation and the importance of appreciation and gratitude, because vision is expansive by nature. Vision is something that when you connect with it and are committed to it, it's like a seed in the ground. It has the potential to grow. And if you can think of the appreciation and gratitude as the water that you give to the seed that's in the earth, it'll grow. But if you're not watering it, it's just going to lay fallow in the ground. And so when we are in that state of appreciation, we're just in that state of abundance. And the meditation that we did really connected us to that feeling of abundance and the realization of really how abundant your life is right now in this very moment, regardless of what's in your bank account. And so today, now, we'll dive into mistakes. So I did a 30-day challenge presented by Alok. I'm going to butcher his last name. Apuradai, I think it's how it's pronounced. Apuradai, something like that. Anyway, one of the questions of his writing prompts was, name your greatest mistake. And I couldn't come up with an answer. Because each of my mistakes is who has made me the person who I am now. And I believe that mistakes are simply lessons. They only become mistakes when you don't get back up, when you stop, when you give up. It's like riding a bike. If you make the mistake of, taking the turn too fast or whatever, and you fall down and you skin your knee, I guess you could say that that's a mistake. But if we flip our perspective on all the mistakes that we make and realize that each mistake has a lesson and a gift for us to grow, then the so-called mistakes become the fertilizer for the seed. It becomes fuel for the vision. It becomes the push or the nudge forward in a better direction, right? And so mistakes, I feel like when we have a vision it has a quality of forward movement. But if we live too much in our past, recounting all the mistakes, right? Like, oh, I should have never broken up with that boyfriend, or I should have never, turned down that job, or oh, I should have stayed in that town. All the things, all the should haves, the could haves, the would haves. Those things literally are kill the light. They put out the fire completely. And so how do we? So if you have, let's say you have so-called mistakes in your life, or things that in your life that you've done that you have tremendous amount of remorse and regret around. That's where self-forgiveness is absolutely essential. Because when we don't forgive ourselves for the mistakes that we've made in life, then we are literally cutting off a part of ourselves, or we're cutting off, it's blocking our connection, our fullest possible connection to Source. We are saying to ourselves no to some aspect of ourselves, like, nope, that was wrong, did bad, not going to forgive myself. And I know most of you know understand the analogy of anger, of the hot rock in the hand. Like, okay, you can either hold on to it and let it burn you, or you can drop the rock, right? And so that's the beauty of self-forgiveness. I do feel that forgiving others can, at least in my personal experience, forgiving others is a lot easier than forgiving oneself. To forgive oneself really takes a tremendous amount of courage to completely let go, to stop punishing yourself, to stop sabotaging yourself, to stop the negative self-talk. It's like when we do things that we regret, or we do things we wish we hadn't done, or said things we wish we hadn't said, it's almost easier to, in some bizarre way, to stay in that state of telling ourselves, oh, well, you made that mistake, you're not worthy. You did this, you did that, so that's why things aren't happening for you. You can't change it. It's not changeable. Like, there's a certain quality of giving up. And when you forgive yourself, you're choosing to continue going on. And not only that, but you're choosing to be willing to make more mistakes. Because that's just the reality of life. One thing my father said to me once, he says, Tanya, life is just a series of mistakes. I would flip and say that life is just a series of lessons. So again, when you're choosing self-forgiveness, you're choosing to be courageous enough to say yes to the lessons that are coming. And some lessons are easier and some lessons are really, really hard. So you can either stay in the same place of being stuck, or you can move on. And that's what I love about family constellations, is because it allows the receiver, the person who's receiving the session, to connect with forgiveness, to connect with a deeper understanding and a deeper compassion for oneself and for others, for all the things that have happened in your life, whether your father was abusive, or your mother was bipolar, or your grandfather was an angry, bitter man, or whatever. Through family constellations, we could see where the source is for why these things happen, and the truth of the matter, and that underneath it all truly is love, unconditional love. Unconditional love and understanding. And so, again, if we want to move forward in our life towards pursuing our vision, we need to get good at forgiving ourselves for our past and forgiving ourselves for whatever perceived mistakes that we think that we've done. And by choosing self-forgiveness, we're stepping into full self-responsibility. We're no longer blaming. So blaming ourselves or blaming others. So forgiving self, forgiving others, standing in self-responsibility. We are choosing to fully embrace our own autonomy, our own decisions, and being held accountable for whatever it is that we decide in the moment, and we are embracing whatever the outcome might be. We're saying, yes, this is my vision, I'm moving towards it, I know I'm going to make mistakes, and I take full responsibility for my actions and for the process of what it is that I'm going to learn, and that I'm going to choose to always step into taking the reins of responsibility, that I choose not to blame anyone for anything, because I know that I am a powerful creator and I'm creating all of it. So in order to move forward in our vision, your wounds of the past are going to come up. And so the big question is, are you willing to courageously heal your past as it shows up? Are you willing to face the triggers that are going to come your way? So with that being said, I'm going to dive into the meditation for today. And the meditation today is about forgiveness and self-forgiveness. Okay, so we're just going to take a moment to relax so we get comfortable. In a comfortable position. If you need to pause the video, go to the bathroom, get a drink of water, you can do that now. Come back. I invite you to you can place a hand on your heart and just connect in with your heart for a moment. Put your hands on your thighs and just feel your body, feel the chair that you're sitting in, or the bed that you're laying in, or the floor, wherever you are. And just connect with your breath. Breathing in and out through your nose. Connecting with the earth, and thanks to the earth. Connecting to your heart, a beautiful, radiant heart of yours. And connecting to your core essence, your core column of light that runs through the center of your being. And just with your intention, connect to Source, your higher self, God, your guides, whatever word is the definition of creator for you. And to just take a moment to notice any places that feel pleasant in your body right now. It could be as small as the tip of your nose, or maybe it's your chest, or your whole torso, your hands. And just feel these sensations of goodness and allow them to expand. perhaps these areas of nice sensations can communicate with those places in your body that feel stuck. And just observe how your body reacts when you allow pleasant feelings to communicate with the stuck ones. Question to ask is, do the nice sensations hold a grudge against the areas of the not nice sensations? Probably not. They simply hold space and communicate with openness on how to let go. So allow for more pleasant feelings to enter your body now through the power of your breath, moving in and out through your nose, into your lungs. And breathe in easily and consciously, knowing that with each inhale, you oxygenate your system and send goodness throughout your entire being. And again, inhale goodness and exhale into an even more relaxed state. Inhale supportive sensations and exhale into relaxation. Inhale deeply the force of good and exhale into relaxation. And continue this method with me for 5 more good breaths. Just notice how easy this is coming to you. You are a natural at communicating with areas of tension, thus changing their very structure and frequency and converting them into a relaxed state. And you are doing very well. So let's continue with our newfound relaxed state to a place of forgiveness. So this is a very important opportunity, and it will aid you in progressing towards personal achievement in all aspects of your life. So I invite you to take a moment and I ask you to visualize yourself in a beautiful garden on a mild day with fluffy clouds rolling by in the sky, and the sun periodically warming your skin and nourishing the plants in this garden. And as you admire the beauty here, the way the leaves of the vegetation are caressed by the wind, there are many colors of flowers throughout the garden, and their fragrance is sweet and welcoming. Just breathing in the sweetness And as you look down, you see a small footpath through some flowering shrubs, and it's an inviting and mysterious path. And so you choose to go down this way. And as you curve around the beauty of this garden, you inhale the fresh oxygen that these plants produce. You feel very pleasant and relaxed. And now you go around the corner, and a small bench made of wood comes into view. And there you see the person you most need to forgive happens to be sitting there. They have been waiting for you because this is a very important encounter. So you sit down beside them because this place is very safe. And there are some things that need to be said to this person. And with bravery and courage, look them directly into their eyes and say, "You hurt me, and I have suffered for too long because of this burden I carry in the form of a grudge towards you. I forgive you." I forgive you not to help you, but to better myself. I forgive you, and you will not enter my thoughts any longer. I forgive you because forgiveness leads to openness in all aspects of my life. You notice the darkness that was once in their eyes begin to lighten, and for a while they don't say a word. Then the silence is broken, and they simply say to you, "I will leave you alone now, and you will not be tormented by the thought of me anymore." You get up from a beautiful wooden bench and walk into the depths of a nearby wooded forest. And you watch as their figure grows smaller and smaller into the distance until you no longer see them. And never once did they turn and look back your way. You're doing really well. And so now, coming to you towards the bench is yourself. And yourself sits down next to you. Maybe it's a younger version of you, or maybe it's the current version of you. And you just look into the eyes of yourself. And allow yourself to say to yourself, "I forgive you." And if there's anything more that you want to say, perhaps it's, "I forgive you for," fill in the blank. And as you see yourself forgiving yourself, notice how you, as yourself sitting next to you, is reacting. Maybe you're crying. Maybe you lean over and give yourself a hug. You can see the gratitude in the eyes of yourself as they receive your forgiveness. Now allow yourself to simply merge with you. And just take a moment to feel how it feels to forgive yourself completely. As you sit on this park bench and you see this amazing, beautiful garden all around you. You can hear the birds and see the butterflies. And as you breathe in new, fresh air, you feel twice as light as you did before. And that's because a huge weight has been lifted now. You have moved on. So now I ask you to take a nice full deep breath. Put your hand on your heart. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Come back to the room that you're in and to this present moment. Okay, so that concludes the meditation. A great practice that you can do as far as journaling to follow up is to literally write down a list of all the people in your life that you would like to forgive, that you're ready to forgive. And also make a list of all the things that you would like to forgive yourself for. And if you'd like, you can always revisit this meditation and take yourself through this practice. And just notice how life changes when you're able to fully let go. Now I know that some of you might have people in your life that you would like to forgive, but perhaps they're not really willing to connect. So this exercise of making a list, use your discernment, I suppose, as far as maybe some people you could call directly, others you might send a letter or an email, and with others, like in my example, I have an estranged brother who chooses not to speak to me anymore. And we've had our ups and our downs and our sideways, and I would love more than anything to be able to have that healing conversation and to to let him know that I forgive him and that I ask him to forgive me. But that's not always possible. So if that's the case for you, just writing a letter and never sending it is a great thing to do. Or even just finding a place in nature and speaking forgiveness to the wind. Because the reality is we're all connected. And even though maybe our words are not able to reach the person's physical ears, those words vibrate throughout the knowing field, and it is received on some level. But we have to embody that feeling. We have to know that once we speak it or write it, that it is done, and we can let it go and we can move forward. And you never know what might happen. Miracles can happen. So to circle back around again, why do we do this? Why do we take the time? What does forgiveness have to do with vision? Well, because it expands us. It makes more room for there to be. When we're not in a state of forgiveness, we're cutting off life force energy from our being and from our ability to create and manifest and contribute fully to the world, and to ourselves, to others, all of it. So think of it that way. Think of it as unkinking your hose if you had a water hose, and just forgiveness unkinks the hose and allows that energy, the spirit to move through you and express itself through you. So thank you so much for watching. I'd love to see your comments and to know how this meditation went for you. And tomorrow will be the last day, and tomorrow we're going to talk about integrity and autonomy. So much love to everyone. Thanks for joining, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.